Um, can Now I gotta go to my own profile and see if it is showing that I'm live because I am live, but it's not. Sorry, ladies. This is. Yeah, it says I'm live now. So it only lets me go live on my phone for some reason. This is weird, except that you guys found me. That makes no sense. Okay. Well, I'm going to turn off this one then. Abigail and see, Rhonda. Well, maybe I should just keep both of them going. This is weird. Should I keep both of them going? Uh, Abigail is having trouble. Hi, Rhonda. Okay. I don't know. I'll keep. Can you keep both of them going? That's weird. Hi, Katie. That's awesome. Um, okay. So, does anybody need any support? Anything this week that I can help you with? Is there something that you're struggling with? Something that you are worried about? I guess I'm live on two different things and we'll just see. I don't know if it's gonna punish me or something. I don't know how YouTube works. Um, yeah, so basically, again, this channel is for oh, Jen is on. Okay, so yeah, so apparently I have to go live on my phone, guys, from now on, which is annoying because I want it to work on my computer too, but we'll see. Um, yeah, so this channel is my way of supporting people who, mostly women who struggle with their emotional eating, their inner critic, their, if you're really reactive and you're really stressed out. Hi, Anthony, you're back. Fellow Canadian, that's right. Oh my God, guys, I'm heartbroken over the Jays. Just heartbroken. I'm just devastated. Katie says, since I had my realization, little Katie loves me as much as grandpa does, I have been binging on junk food. It feels like a celebration of joy. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. It could be like binging on junk food is one of the ways that she feels alive or she feels like that dopamine hit. Um, so, I mean, there's in eating junk food and enjoying it. And then the difference would be if you're binging and out of control, then that's like a different thing. Um, so yeah, how do you feel about that, Katie? I guess would be that would be my question. Is like if you feel out of control, if you feel compulsive, then that's where you're going to run into an issue. Um, if she's just like joyfully, you know, living life and a part of it, then I don't know. That one that requires a conversation, I think. So yeah, I would need more of how you feel, Katie. Um yeah, and so the thing that I was talking about before is just that um the way that we connect to ourselves is going to dictate like how we live our lives, right? So what we want to do is we want to step into a place where we can dream, where we can decide what person we want to be and how we imagine our life. If you can't imagine anything different than what you have, then like it's impossible probably to get there. Um, some user says, I've been binging on sugar lately too. I enjoy it, but many times it feels out of control Not always, but many times it feels like I can't stop. Yeah. Is that Kim? Yeah, so it's like sugar can start out feeling like it's in control. It can start out thank you, Anthony. It's not actually a crown, it's a belt, but I'm repurposing it on my head because I felt like being sparkly. Okay, hi Kim. I didn't recognize you from your thing. Yeah. So with sugar, again, it's going back to how we feel. It's going back to I enjoy the sugar. The sugar tastes good, but if you find that you start and you can't stop, then that's where we're going to be like, okay, so what part of me is not stopping, right? And you have to like feel that into your body. What part of me is just going to keep going? Is it scared of something? Like is it needing to calm down and the sugar calms you down? Like most of the time sugar is just us attempting to self-regulate, right? I mean, not eating sugar, but binging on sugar is self-regulation. Like you taste something, it tastes good, so you want to keep eating it. Is like I want to keep feeling good. I want to keep living in this state where I feel good. But it's like you can feel good without, you know what I mean? Without the sugar, you're just like that's the easiest, fastest way to feel good. I mean, it's faster than anything. It's faster than sex. It's faster than gambling. It's faster than I mean, you can shove an Oreo in your mouth faster than you can get your credit card out on online shopping or something. Like there's nothing faster than food. So it's just going to be this very um, easy sort of automatic, like I don't feel good, I want to feel better. Where's the sugar? Put it in my mouth. Ooh, a little is good, more must be better. And the cycle keeps going. Um, so again, it's asking like, how is this for me? Like, what part of me wants me to keep eating? Why am I not satisfied? Why was one slice not enough? Or why was one serving not enough? Why do I want to keep going? And you can keep going, but just observe yourself continuing to go, you know. And if you're feeling like you're cramming it in, then that's nervous system regulation. If you're feeling like you can't stop yourself from the next bit, then that's your nervous system. That's a sign that you're dysregulated and you're probably in sympathetic. So in polyvagal theory, you this, you know, connected, happy, calm, awesome, right here. And then as soon as we're like a cue of danger, then your body's like, you know, what would fix this really fast is if you shoved some Oreos in your mouth real quick. Like, oh, more, eat more. That'll make us feel better. That'll numb this feeling. Um, Ruth Ann says, when I ask myself that question, why do I keep eating it? I just don't want the play. Ah, okay. See, you guys are so smart. You don't even need me. All right. So that's like one of the most self-aware things on the planet, Ruth Ann. So like pat yourself on the back for that. I just don't want the pleasure to stop. Of course you don't. You're a person and our brains are wired for pleasure, right? And the pleasure is coming from the food. That's a reward loop right there. That's a dopamine hit. That makes perfect sense. So, of course, you don't want the pleasure to stop. So then the question is, why are you so pleasure starved? Oh, hi, Ruthie. Thanks for coming. Um, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. That's awesome. Yeah, so then the question would be, why are you so pleasure starved that the second you get a bit of pleasure in your mouth, you're like, oh my God, I haven't had this in so long. I got to keep going. Like that to me says like you don't have very much pleasure in your life. So let me paint you a little picture, Ruthie. So let's say you get up in the morning and you, or no, let's say you don't get up in the morning. Let's say you lay in bed. Why am I so pleasure starved? Okay, first of all, there's not enough fun. Okay, that why do you think I'm wearing a belt as a crown? Like Little Helm was like, we're gonna dress like a princess, and I was like, yeah, but I don't want to take off my hoodie. And she was like, okay, fine, but we're still dressing like a prince. Like we need to have more fun. Okay, taking ourselves too seriously, being too much of grown up world. Like we do not. People are too grown up. Okay, we get it. You pay taxes, you have a couch, you might own stairs. I mean, if you're really rich, right? You might have a double sink. Like you might be just having gone to the top of the world, right? Grown-ups are boring, okay? Tricks are for kids. Like it's boring. So we want to be able to step into our joy, right? The pleasure. Remember when you were a kid and you're like, "Oh my god, it's the first day of summer vacation." And I'm just and you could not wait. You were like, "Let me out of here," shoving cereal in your mouth. You're like, "I'm going to call my friend. We're going to get on our bikes. We're going to go. We're going to like no one, no one's going to tell us what to do. We're not going to school today." Blah blah blah. And everything was joy, right? Everything was exciting. Everything was awesome. And then you grow up and you're like, doing a bunch of things I don't want to do with people I don't really like, compromising myself, paying taxes, owning a couch, like you just suck the fun and the life right out of it. So we have to flip it around and be like, where am I getting pleasure, joy, sparkle? So the sparkle is like, don't even get out of bed, stay in bed and like just be like, hug yourself. Hi, self. Hi, body. Good morning, everyone. We're still here, right? Okay, hug time, lay in bed, give yourself a hug, right? And then you're like, oh, what are we going to do today? What do you want to do today? What would just make this the best day ever? And if you, yeah, most of us didn't, Ruthie. Like, most of us had those like a few days here and there, and they were few and far removed. Like, most of us were not free as kids because we had trauma. So we were worried and anxious and nervous and scared. But the whole point of this is that we want there to be what we didn't have, right? We want to give ourselves what we didn't have. So where can you build in pleasure, right? Do you like, what would make you feel happy? What would make you feel excited? What would feel good to your body? I can attest to bouncing on this trampoline is like fun. Oh my God. The thing Little Helm got today, she borrowed it from Andrew, but still we have it, is a spinner. It's so fun. It's a thing that uh artistic like figure skaters train on when they're doing dryland training to like train the spins. So it's like a little piece of plastic that's like a bit wobbly and you put it on a floor and you can like go round and round and round. Cheryl says, I'm too grown up to. I know, so many grown ups. Like, you're not going to be, you're going to want the food. You're going to need the food. You're going to need the sugar because your brain is dopamine starved because there's no joy. So then, as soon as it gets some pleasure from food, it's like, oh, I don't want it to stop, which is exactly what Ruthie said earlier, which is brilliant. Oh, a shocking amount of time in your hammock swing lately. Ruthie, it's like I can't get enough. Yeah, so that's so cool. I used to have, well, I still have, an autism swing, which I use for my PTSD, and it's awesome. It's like a hammock, but it's like a full, like it's fully covered, and you get in, and it's like a little cocoon, and it like squeezes you. And I have it hanging on a butterfly clip in my bedroom, which means it can just turn around forever, and you just be in your little, right, like that's one of the movements, that rocking movement is one of the movements that helps our nervous system regulate, right? So rocking back and forth, rocking in a rocking chair, rocking in a swing, rocking in a hammock, rocking in anything is going to soothe your nervous system. So if you are finding, yeah, if you can't get enough, Ruthie, then that tells me that you struggle with feeling safe and regulated in your body. And food helps you to give you pleasure and to calm you down. And then the swing also helps. So it's like we just need to keep looking. Yeah, this is similar. It hugs you. Yeah, I have one of those. I keep thinking that it has been a nervous system. Yeah, totally. It is. It is. I mean, it's like a swaddle, right, for a baby. I don't know what you know about babies, but they, if you just leave them there, they're like, arms, too much. I have too much arms, right? You got to like make them feel all snuggled up. And yeah, and I used to use it for PTSD and stuff all the time to help me sleep. So that's great. That means you have like a way to regulate that isn't food, because that would have just been another sugar binge, Ruthie. Um, so yeah, so we need to be looking for fun, joy, pleasure. Like, where is the awesome? Where is the thing that makes you want to get out of bed every day? The thing that you're so excited where you're like, oh my God, I got to get dressed and go out because this, or I got to get dressed and go downstairs, or I got to not get dressed and do whatever is going to make you feel good, you know? All of those places that we're being too grown up, we're being too rigid and disciplined. And I have my, 5 a.m. workout routine and blah, blah, and it's not fun. But I keep wondering if I will ever want to do grown up things again. It feels like a functional freeze. Yeah. Yeah, and again, Ruthie, it's just because you're dysregulated, you don't feel safe. As soon as you feel safe, um, to be in the present moment, you will. It's not that you're gonna want to do grown up things in the way of, like, I don't think anyone's really excited to pay their taxes. But as we build nervous system regulation, we build resilience. That's the point of it. Is that something can happen that is a cue of danger, and you can be like, observe yourself being like, whoa, danger, and then you like help yourself back to feeling calm, connected, safe. And then when you have to go do grown up things, you've had so much joy, so much pleasure, so much fun, that when it's like, oh, it's time to sit down and do my taxes, you're like, yeah, that's fine. Because like I'm filled up, my pleasure meter, my joy meter, my fun meter is like filled right up. So now when I have to go do grown up things, that's fine. That's okay. Right. So there is a way that you can have fun as avoidance, right? If you know that you should be doing stuff that's responsible and then you avoid it by having fun, that's a real thing. Um, but it's just all different ways of being dysregulated, if that makes sense. Um, so we don't want to have to rely on sugar to regulate us or to give us pleasure, right? That's a lot of expectations on sugar. Um, Ruthie says, how do you know if you are healing or avoiding? Okay, again, okay. So Ruthie, you're just like, you're in it, you're ready. This is awesome. I love these questions. So if you are healing, there is something called the cocoon stage. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's basically where you are going through your healing and you just hit this phase where like you don't want to go out, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to go anywhere, and you just kind of, you don't want to take on anything new. You're just, you're in your cocoon stage. You're just not ready yet to get out and face the world. And you're going to know that. Dyra says you're so pretty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I had fun doing my makeup for this today. I was like, oh, I'm going to go be in public in my bedroom. That's weird. So thank you. So yeah, so that's healing. Healing is that you feel like you are restoring yourself, right? Avoiding is uh like a magnet, like you're being repelled, you know? Like you're like, oh, there's the thing over there that I should go do, and you approach it and it's like a magnet and it just repels you. Like you just go back the other way and you're like, where's the sugar? Where's the scrolling? Where's the, welcome in, Dyra, by the way, if I didn't say that. Welcome in. I can only see you, by the way, if you write something in the chat. I can see a number total, like that we have 9 people here, but the only names I can see are if you actually type something. So if you want me to say hi to you, you have to put something in the chat. Yeah, so avoiding is just you're running, right? You're going the other way on purpose. And you're just like, I just can't even. This is my favorite expression. This is how you know you're avoiding. I used to hear this in my family a lot. I just can't even, right? That would be the, oh, did you ever? And they're like, I just can't even. I'm just so stressed out. I just couldn't possibly. I have too much on my plate, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Um, Rhonda, are you still in the other chat? Or Laurel, are you still on the other chat? Or has everybody moved over? There's only one person left there. I'm trying to bring you all over. Um, Rhonda, you're still here. Okay, well, you can stay there. We'll do both. Anyway, so that's how that works. That if you're sitting there telling yourself, I just couldn't possibly, I just can't, it's like that's avoidance. Rhonda, I think you leave and then you go to my profile and click on it and it should say that it's live now. I've had this trouble like 2 weeks in a row. I'm so sorry. Um, so avoidance um is not going to feel restorative. Avoidance is going to feel icky. YouTube profile, Rhonda. Help me hope YouTube. Did that answer whose question was that? That was Ruthie's question. Yeah. How do you know if you're healing or avoiding? Um, Healing is I choose not to. Like I need my rest. I need to restore myself. I am prioritizing my energy. Avoiding is, well, I just couldn't possibly. Avoiding is like where you feel like a victim. Cocooning is where you're going to be like, not, I need time. You need time to grow. Yeah, of course, Ruthie, you're chewing on that. That's like one of the most profound questions in life. Like, you go ahead and chew on that. Absolutely um that is absolutely valid. It's gonna take a minute. Okay, so I think we moved everybody over. So if you're new here, my name is Helmi. I go live every Sunday night at 7 Eastern. And I am just here to. Hi, Rhonda. You made it over. Yay. Okay, so I guess I'm doing these on my phone forever. I don't know why it didn't work on my laptop. But whatever, we're all here now. So if you're new here, my name is Helmi, and I go live every Sunday night to offer support for people who are particularly women who are struggling with emotional eating. And Dyra says, I'm going to binge your account. You seem, oh my God, isn't my dog so cute? Just can't handle him. He's taller than me, which is fun. And also, he lies on top of me, and that's it. You're just not moving. It's so cute. Joanna says, hi. Hi, Joanna. You're back. Yes, you are from last week. I remember. Welcome in. Welcome in. I wore a little crown. It's not a crown, it's a belt, but I put it on my head, so it counts as a crown now. Because I wanted to sparkle and sparkle on Sunday nights. Ooh, maybe that's what we should call this. Sunday Night Sparkle. There's a name. Joanna, how are you doing? Did you have a good week? Did you have any? His name is Bernie the Bernard. We didn't name him that. The rescue named him that. And I was like, that is the most perfect name for a stray St. Bernard. Bernie the Bernard. And at his doggy daycare, they call him Bernard. And they just yell out, Bernard. And he comes running. So he's so cute. So I put him on my YouTube at least once a week because he's adorable. So Joanna, you had a good week. Okay, awesome. Love to hear it. Did you have any struggles that you need help with, or are you just having a good week? You're feeling good. You're here to be a part of the crew. Also awesome. Um, good. Okay, welcome in. That's amazing. Yeah, he is so sweet. Dara, thank you so much. Yeah, and so yeah, you're just here. Good. Be here. Be in the group. Let's build a community. Let's have a safe place every Sunday night where we can come and recharge and support each other and connect in a safe space, you know? Like this is the girls' bathroom. This is like if you ever meet me in the girls' bathroom, oh my god, the lives I've changed in girls' bathrooms where girls were like crying. They're like, he just broke up with me. I'm like, give me 10 minutes. Tyra says, did you have a good week? Yes, I did. I had a great week actually, except for a small bout of food poisoning. That was not ideal. Um, and I went roller skating yesterday and I had an awesome skate and I got a few new tricks. How was Halloween? It was stormy here. We got the remnants of a hurricane, so it was quiet and stormy. Um, Ruthie says, "Oh my gosh, I relate to that. Fixing all the world's oh my god, are you? If you, I'm looking for my girls' bathroom heroes. Like that's who I want my community to be full of. Is like the girls' bathroom heroes that like you're in there and somebody's crying and there's always somebody crying and then you're just like you okay and they're like it's okay and you're like it's not okay though, do you want to talk about it, and they're like it's just that he told me that my best friend, and you're like tell me everything sweet pea, what's up, let's get it all out, right? And then 10 minutes later they leave the bathroom and they're like I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna stand up for myself. Right? If I could build a community of just girls' bathroom heroes, like that would be the dream. Yes, Ruthie, you get it. Let it out. It's okay. I understand. I'm here. Joanna says, bro, my friend walked up to me in the girls' bathroom last Thursday because her boyfriend broke. I assume broke up with her. I said, girl, listen. And we were in there for like 10. See, you were in there for 10 minutes and she walked out smiling it. I literally just described Joanna's situation. See, it's not just me. I knew there were more of me out there, guys. I knew it. I was like, there's got to be more. So Joanna's one of them, right? See, 10 minutes later, and she walked out smiling again. High five. Love it, Joanna. Um, yes, roller skating is a cool activity to do. I did not think that I would pick up roller skating in my 40s. I didn't think that was a thing people did. But I was following the joy, and the joy led to purple sparkle roller skates. And then the joy led to roller skating. And then the joy led to like, let's feel better so we can roller skate more. And then it just became a virtuous cycle. So in English, we have a lot of, ooh, is my volume going in and out for other people? That's a good thing to know. If it is, I would love to know about it. Ah. If it is, can you put it in the chat? Okay, because I would love to know if it is. Yeah, so in English we have a lot of negative words, and we forget that they all come from a positive word. So we say vicious cycle, which is like a bad thing creates a bad thing creates a bad thing creates a worse outcome. But there's also a virtuous cycle, and you can go creating a good thing that leads to a better thing that makes you want to keep doing the good thing that leads to a good outcome and create a virtuous cycle for yourself. So that is a fun ride to get on to. Abigail says, yes, the volume is going in and out. Joanna says it is going in and out. Other people say no. Abigail, are you the one who arranged the Zoom meeting today? I arranged the Zoom meeting, Ruthie. Abigail just her, and I was like, I want to help her. But yes, she's the one that she's the same Abigail I talked about on the call. If my volume is going in and out, am I going completely mute and then full volume, or as the volume fading? Abigail is an instigator. Abigail's very brave. She's very courageous and she's very genuine. So that's my people. So when she told me what happened, I was like, not on my watch. No fading, not muting. Interesting. I have no idea what that would be. Yes, it was so kind of you, Abigail, to make the intros. Jordan says hi. Hi, Jordan. My tone. Rhonda says no. My tone is louder than. Oh, you think it's just my voice? Oh, maybe it's just how I'm talking. Joanna says you went to a vintage store. Ooh, that sounds fun. Now, are we talking clothes or are we talking furniture? Because I can thrift shop vintage clothes all day. I can't even go to those stores anymore. I spend so much money. Spend like $200 and walk out with like a garbage bag. Joanna says Zoom meeting without me. Oh, Joanna, they're talking about another way that I know some of the people on here. Andrea says my voice drops off at the end of sentences. Okay, that's fascinating. I will Google that, I guess. How to fix my voice dropping at the end of sentences. Oh, it was both. Joanna, did you spend a lot of money or did you find anything awesome? Because thrift shopping is the best. I think that's something we can all agree on. Okay, so YouTube Live volume. In and out. Fading. I don't know, guys. I'm just Googling something random here. Sounds like a tech issue. Okay. Can you guys still hear me when it's fading in and out, or is it like so faded that you can't follow what I'm saying? Audio fades in and out. Okay. I don't have shocking no one. I do not have the tech savvy to wrangle that in this exact moment, but I will go to my IT guy who's downstairs. And okay, Abigail says as long as you can follow, I will follow up on this. I will watch this video back. I will get on it for next week. Okay, sorry the volume is weird. We can't just keep doing it. Okay. So, thrift stores. Oh my god, the spinner. Guys, you can just get on and spin. Now you have to keep your balance, but I have my secret butterfly clip from my swing that I hang on to, and then I just like go around. It's so fun. So Joanna, can you say something? Of course you can. Joanna, say something. You're in a safe place. What about my belt crown? I'm just gonna keep talking, Joanna, until you type something. Because there's no way for me to know when you're saying it. So yeah, like where's the fun? Where is the can I talk more about losing the adult and finding your joy? Rhonda, you bet I can. I can talk about it all day, baby. Okay, so I used to take myself so seriously. I used to be an academic. I used to be a teacher. I used to be a gymnastics coach. I used to be like discipline, achievement, serious, focus, structure, blah blah blah. And it was so boring, but I just thought that's what being a grown up is. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, so then I was like, well, this is boring. So, what would make it more fun is wine and cupcakes and Wendy's drive-through. Like I was doing the same thing. I'm looking for, the dopamine hit. I'm looking for the pleasure. I'm looking for the thing that's going to make it more right? And for me, wine made it more fun. And I was like, oh, look, now I'm having fun. That must be the solution. So, so then of course I had all the side effects that come with that. And oh my God, I used to be so hungover all the time. It was misery. Um, anyway, and then I was like, is this all there is to life? Is it just going to be me yo-yo dieting up and down 40 pounds for the rest of my life and just constantly having the same problems and feeling the same way and just feeling like I need to get out of my body all the time? Anyway, so my little self, we all have a little self. We all have a bunch of little selves actually, but let's focus on one. And I was like so mad that she existed. I was so mad that she was like, hello, I'm in here. I need help. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't exist. Nobody was there for me when I was a kid. I'm not going to be there for you. And I was super mean to her. And she made me super sick. I just kept getting infections over and over and over and over. And I was like, just mad at her. Anyways, so this went on for years. And I just would drink more and eat more sugar and get more infections and be more sick, be more injured all the time. Like my body was just rebelling against me. And finally, I stopped and I was like, okay, you win. I'm not gonna beat you, you know? Like you're holding all the cards here. So just asking her, like, okay, what do you need? What would make you feel happy right now? And we started out with mermaid cartoons and Fruit Loops. That's how we started. And just started kind of showing up for her. And it took me forever, guys. Um, it took me forever. Like it took way longer for me. It's not going to take you guys this long. But I spent years just being like, how about a cupcake? Would that make you happy? And the safer and more connected that she got with me, the more she was like, what if we did this fun thing right now? And I was like, but I'm a serious grown up and I have serious things to do. And she was like, but what if we tried on that cute outfit? What if we put on some pink lipstick? What if we put a belt on our heads and called it a tiara? What if we, right? And she just started, um, yeah, mermaid cartoons and Fruit Loops, literally. Like I'd be like, I would think I was 34 years old and I'm just sitting there been watching mermaid cartoons being like, I don't know, this is what she said she wanted. I don't know what to tell you. And as I just kept listening to her and she kept feeling safer and I started getting more um connected to the reality that her way of being was way more fun than my way of being, right? And I just thought that's the way it had to be. So Joanna, do you mean you're a couch potato or a potato? Because I'm not sure what that means. Um, yeah, and so they're not going to want to have fun with you at first. So think about if a kid is in a mall and they lost their mom. I don't know if you've ever seen this or if this has happened to you. Um, that you are the kid is like freaking out, right? They're panicking, they're scared, they realize that like they're gonna have to make the next decision. You know, their parents gone, they're scared, right? You cannot go up to that kid who just lost their mom in the mall who's crying and be like, do you want to go have fun with me? Because they're like, no, I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't feel safe with you. Like absolutely not. There's you can't go up to a kid in that state and be like, but I have a roller coaster we could go on. Like it doesn't matter what you offer, they're not going to want to go. What they want is safety and they want the parent. So that's the same with your little self. They are going to they are going to need to feel safe with you and trust you before the fun can kick in. And that's a lot of the work that I do with women is coaching them through that process of how do you create safety. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel called How to Create Safety. It's part of the How to Feel Loved playlist. So safety has a few components. and you just get familiar. I think there's there's 3 categories for safety, and you just start putting the time in. Yeah, so Ruthie says this is encouraging because I've been working on really connecting with my little self currently. She is opening up a bit, but no fun really yet. Yeah, and that's why, right? She has to trust you. She has to feel safe with you. And then she'll start to be like, ooh, what if we did this? So that is the story of how I started shedding the grown up, ooh, this is stiff and boring and important, right? And started being like, what feels good though? Like what would be so fun? What would just like, guys, this spinner. I mean, you can just, if you had the abs for it, which I currently do not, if you had the core strength to hold your body up under that kind of pressure, like you could just go indefinitely. It's like, it's like being in the space station, except my core is not that strong yet. So Joanna, when you say that you're a couch potato, do you mean that I'm not a couch potato, I'm a bed bean, much more so, but I know some couch potatoes. Um, or actually, I used to be a bed bean. I guess I'm not a bed bean anymore because I've regulated my nervous system. Um, and so, Joanna, does that mean you just like, you don't ever want to get up and do anything? Like you just would rather be cozy and cuddled up somewhere? Um, so, so yeah, safety always has to come first. Safety, safety, safety. Safety is important. Then once we have safety, you can start to feel seen, then heard, then loved in that order, and you can't change the order. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of mermaid cartoons and Fruit Loops until I realized that she needed actual parenting from me. She needed actual support, not just sugar and distraction. So yeah, I help people get there way faster than I think it took me 2017 to 2025. How long is that? 8 years? 7, 8 years? Yeah, it took me forever. But anyways, doesn't matter because now I'm here and I'm gonna have fun, and grown-ups are boring. You don't have to be so grown up. It ages you. Being a grown-up ages you. So so there is that. And yeah, and so that's the other thing I was gonna say is that with um how we're all sort of socialized, we think that other people get to tell us who we are, right? We give our power away a lot, and we're socialized to give our power away a lot. But like, yeah, come back, no problem, Joanna. But nobody can tell you who you are, right? So if you decide that you're like a stuffy grown up who needs all the rules and has to be strict and can't have fun, then like that's who you're going to be. But if you decide that you want to um, tap into the joy and the connection and the sparkle and the magic of all of this, like you don't need to um, ask anybody for permission. And if anyone who knows me in real life, this is what I say constantly, constantly. Like you'll hear me say at least like twice a week. Something will happen. Somebody will walk by and I'll be like, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. Because I just, bye, Joanna. because because I grew up really strict, and there were a lot of rules. Oh my God, Cheryl, I'm scrolling for tap shoes as you speak. See, that would have been a thing where I'm like, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. I grew up with such a strict understanding or expectation of what it was to be a person, to be a woman, to be an adult, um, that I'm constantly being like, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. And I'm unlearning it all the time. Like the things that I didn't know we were allowed to wear crop tops in public. I legit didn't know that. I didn't know that grown-ups could dye their hair any color they want. Like I would see a girl, like a grown-up woman, like a 40-year-old woman walk by with like purple hair and I'd be like, didn't know we were allowed to do that. Scrolling for tap shoe, buying tap shoes, picking up tap dancing, starting piano at a late age. I didn't know we were allowed to do that. Like I just I grew up so rigid. Um and I encourage you all to look at the things that you think you're supposed to do or the things that you're not supposed to do and be like, is there something here that I didn't know we were allowed to like be 35 years old watching mermaid cartoons and eating Fruit Loops? Oh my god, guys, this mermaid cartoon was ridiculous. Let me explain the premise. Rollerblading, yes, Anthony. Oh my god. Roller skating, rollerblading. I think boys like rollerblading more than roller skating because it's like hockey more. I used to rollerblade when I was younger, but now I'm all about the roller skating. Um, but rollerblading is really good for like outside and going fast and stuff, which scares me. I don't do any roller skating outside. But yeah. Oh my god, when you're rollerblading super fast though, and you feel like you're flying, not when you're out of control going down a hill and you have to like dive roll to avoid getting hit by a car, like I've done that. But when you're in control and it's just everything is happening, like you're in such a flow state. Um, which is amazing. So it's like the ways that we think, oh, I didn't know I was allowed to do that, or I didn't know that was acceptable. And men have this worse than women because they're more heavily socialized into like, you're only allowed to like these things, or else it's gay, or else you're not a man or something. Like there's a lot of stupid pigeonholing out there. Women don't have that as hard. We kind of get away with a lot more. Um, so yeah, like um so yeah, like a good day of snow skiing. Oh my god, you're when you're what not again, not when you're crashing into a snowboarder and breaking your ankle and out of control, but yeah, racing down the hill. Like you just feel like you're flying. Oh my god, guys, cute story. So, Dave, my husband, did not know how to ride a bike when I met him. So we taught him. He was like 20 years old, I want to say. And he's like 6'3" and super gangly and skinny. And we got him a bike and we're like, we're going to take you to this parking lot and we're going to teach you how to ride a bike because he's never ridden a bike before. And I mean, it's when you teach a kid to ride a bike, right? They're small, the seat is low, like, you can manage it if they fall over. When you're teaching a grown adult how to ride a bike, it's a lot of it's a lot of moving parts. But we had like four people, we were holding the seat. We finally get him going, and I was like, I'm gonna let go of the seat. And he's like, he's holding the handlebars like this. He's like, okay, I'm ready. And I let him go, and he's like, I feel like I'm flying. Because he'd never been on a bike before. Like he just didn't know that feeling. And little kids are usually who's learning how to ride a bike. And so they learn it and they can't verbalize that, right? They're not going to use that language, but he was a grown up. So he was like, this is what riding a bike feels like. It feels like flying. And I was like, I guess, yeah, now that you put it that way. And that's what skiing down a mountain feels like. That's what roller skating, or sorry, skiing down a mountain, roller blading, down a path, or going fast, roller skating, like it feels like flying, right? And that's why people like it. But anyway, I have to explain the premise of this mermaid show, guys. You would not believe how complicated this was. Okay, mermaids who three mermaids who have magic powers, who solve crimes because they can go up on the land and be human whenever they want. Can you even? Is that not the most brilliant show? Why this did not win an Emmy, I could not tell you. Mermaids with magic powers who solve crimes. I mean, it was epic television. So I know it was the best show. I'm so sad that I like watched all the seasons. I'll probably go back and watch them again with Lil Home. But yeah, like like feel like you're flying, you know? How often in a day do you feel like you're flying? Like I got this little trampoline and I bounce on it. I'm like, wee, like it feels fun. It feels flying. I got this spinner and I'm like, oh my God, how fast can I go? Right. I really have to work on my core to be able to hold it to go longer. But you know what I mean? So like then am I gonna want to eat half a chocolate cake? It doesn't have the same appeal anymore. Because the only reason why I wanted to eat all the chocolate cake before was the same reason Ruthie said earlier, is that I it felt like pleasure and I didn't want the pleasure to stop. But that's because I was so starved of pleasure and joy and fun in the rest of my life. I literally equated alcohol with fun, food with fun, takeout with fun, sugar with fun. Like my idea of a fun time for a long, long time. Oh, you're welcome, Ruthie. I do tend to bring things back around. If you're ever like, where is she going with that? Like, don't worry. We're always coming back. My idea of like if I want to have a fun night, it was the couch bed, which is how do I explain the couch bed? My husband's a foot taller than me and I have St. Bernard's. So a regular couch doesn't cut it. So I took a king size bed and I put a couch on the side of it. And then the back of the king size bed is full of giant stuffed animals that act like the back of the couch that you lean back on. And then we all climb in there and watch TV. So couch bed, sushi, takeout, uh, 2 bottles of wine, easy, and cupcakes for dessert. And I'd be like, this is fun. I would be so excited. We'd go out and get the sushi, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, be like hugging it, like I just won the lottery, get everything in the couch bed, get everything set up, you know, and then, yeah. And that was my idea of fun. And so Ruthie says, I don't drink very often, but I feel like I need to in order to loosen some of my extreme grown upness. And that's the thing, is that we're like relying on something else to give us permission to be who we want to be. And then you're just going to be reliant on that. So if you've ever like had fun drinking, but then you don't have fun in your regular life, it's like, it's not the alcohol, it's that you stopped caring about the impression you wanted to leave people with, or you stopped focusing on something other than having fun because your inhibitions lowered. Like a lot of people who drink are or drink socially, they're drinking either to like calm their anxiety or because they don't know how to have fun anymore and their only pathway to fun is strewn with wine bottles. Which was definitely the case for me. So then when you learn how to have fun, then you don't need half the cake anymore. You don't need to keep, because there's so much pleasure, right? There's so much pleasure in the bounce. There's so much pleasure in the flower belt crown tiara. There's so much pleasure in the pink lipstick. There's so much pleasure in the cute outfit. There's so much pleasure in the spinner. That you're just then you're like, oh, go eat a cake. Go eat 8 cupcakes. And it's like, well, but then I'm gonna feel sick. And then I'm not gonna be able to bounce or spin or you know do anything. Like I'm just gonna feel gross. And then the next question is, well, why do I want to feel gross? Right? How is that helping me? Everything is coming to you from a place of positive intention. So yeah, so Ruthie's making an inventory of the fun. I love it. Yeah, make a list, baby. The backyard swing. Oh my God, swings are so fun. Again, feels like flying. You'll notice a lot of things that are fun feel like flying. My new crochet hobby, coloring, watercolor. Yeah. So do them, build them into the day. prioritize, yeah, Ruthie, looking for pleasure in other places. And start the day with that. Put it at the top of the to-do list. First thing I'm doing is backyard swing, or first thing I'm doing is coloring. Like non-negotiable. Everything else on the list can wait. Take an hour. If you have an hour. Not everybody has an hour. Take 10 minutes. But a lot of us don't know how to have fun anymore. We don't know how to anchor into fun. We don't know how to relax enough to have fun. Yeah, you do not. Yeah, Ruthie says, ooh, start the day with that. So you mean I don't have to earn it? No, it's not a reward. It's a right. It's your fucking birthright. Okay, you were born to it, and it cannot be separated from you. All you have to do is claim it. It cannot be earned. It cannot be earned unless you give up your power to somebody else who says, if you do all the things I tell you to do, then you get a reward. Like, if you buy into that, if you believe that, then I guess it's true. Your mind will make it real. But it is your birthright. Yeah. We are born for pleasure, for joy, for connection, right? For fun. Life's supposed to be fun. I thought life was supposed to be struggling and stressful and heavy. Like that's what I thought life was. It was just one catastrophe after another, one chaotic, swirl through the world with no safe place to land. But that turns out it was just me. So I don't know if you guys remember the meme that was going around a few years ago that was like, am I the drama? Is it me? And it's like, yeah, it is you, babe. Like, if you're not having fun, if you're stressed out, if you find yourself embroiled in drama all the time, like, yeah, it is you. That's okay. That it's everybody, right? But it's just that's um where you are letting it be that way, right? You are living in that place, and then those things just keep coming to you. As you move up, then these awesome things come to you. Yeah, I know. And the first time I realized that I was the drama, it was 2020, I want to say 2023. And I was walking my dog, and I was like bawling uncontrollably because I was like, oh my God, I have to get a divorce. And I was like, I felt this feeling before. Where have I felt this feeling before? And I followed the feeling back to female friends. And I was like, oh, why does the idea of getting divorced um feel like female friendships? And then I was like, do I remember any earlier version of this? And then I was getting younger, and I was like, oh. And then it ended up at my mom, you know? So, like, you just don't, until you stop and ask yourself the question, am I the drama? How am I participating in my own suffering is really the big question. How am I participating in my own suffering? How am I creating this reality? How am I contributing to this reality? Because you're setting the tone. So if you're, in the couch bed, drunk and getting takeout and watching a movie, and that's your idea of fun, then that's the life you're going to have. Now my idea of fun is 2 or 3 hours of roller skating, and trying to improve and being like, oh, I almost got that, so so now I have the life that I get from that being my definition of fun. But a lot of us don't have any idea of fun other than putting things in our faces. Oh my God, I used to have to put a budget line. When I would do the budget all the time, I'd be like, just stuff I put in my mouth. Like, what am I spending on just alcohol? let's go through the list. Alcohol, fast food, right? Which is separate from takeout, like from a restaurant, which is separate from eating out at a restaurant, which is separate from uh like treats and sugar and baked goods and stuff like that. Alcohol separated into two categories of homemade alcohol, like that we buy in bulk and make ourselves, versus going to the liquor store. I mean, when you added up the things that I would just put in my face, I think between the two of us, it was like $1,100 a month between regular groceries, all the extras, and the alcohol. Like, because that's what we thought was fun. So, so that's all that happened. Kim says, I've been looking for things that bring me joy, but I think I've been stressing myself out with it because I get lost trying to figure out what is it. Ooh, so that's too much pressure. Yeah, that's too much pressure. Yeah, and joy is like a grown-up word. You've never heard a kid being like, that brought me great joy. Like that's a grown-up word, right? Where's the fun? What's fun? That's what a kid will say. So Kim says, I like find something fun much better. It makes much more sense. Yeah. Because you know what's fun, right? And if what's fun right now is, the couch bed and the wine and the sushi, then that's okay. It's just notice that that's what you think is fun, and then be like, what do I think is fun about that? What do I like about that? What's fun for me? Okay, well, for me, oh my God, guys, this took me, if you're married, this took me so long to figure out. That this like blew my mind when I realized this. I realized that my idea of fun was drinking at home and having takeout and watching a movie in the couch bed, because I finally realized that that was where it was impossible for me to be in charge. So my one of my big shifts with alcohol was when I realized that I was using it to take myself off duty and to be like, I'm not in charge anymore because I've had 3 glasses of wine. Whatever happens, you're going to have to deal with it. Right. So I didn't understand that I could have just said, hey, I feel like I'm in charge all the time, and I feel the pressure and the stress. Ruthie says, yes, not being in charge. Yeah, there is like, and as women, right, we're like, oh, I have to solve every problem. And so for decades, I didn't notice that I was doing that. That I was like, oh, if I drink, then I can't, like, I literally can't be the one. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. And then once I did that, I was like, well, why don't I just tell him to figure it out himself anyway? Like, you don't have to get drunk for that. Ruthie says, what I like about that, what's fun about that, is no responsibility. Yeah. No responsibility. Like, there should be fun. You shouldn't be in charge of anything for at least, whatever chunk of the day that you can get away with that. You need breaks from being in charge of things. It's draining. It's exhausting to be in charge all the time. And then you need a coping mechanism to survive it. When I was a teacher, uh, and we were trying to pay off his MBA, I would teach all day, go home, grab food, get on the subway, go to my nanny job, nanny until 2 a.m, come home, sleep for like 4 hours, get back up, and go do it again. I was in charge all day that I was the teacher, Madame, what should we do? Madame, what do we do next? Madame, I finished my assignment. Madame, how many verb tenses are there in French? And then I'm like 13, and they're like, no, there can't be 13. And I'm like, sorry. Right. So I'm in charge all day. And then I go home to my house and I'm in charge again because like he can't find anything and for some reason everything is on me. And then I go to work again and I'm the nanny and I'm in charge of the kids. And then like you know what I mean? You're just in charge all the time. So you lose charge, literally. No, Ruthie, I'm not a teacher or a nanny anymore. No, that was a past life. um now I'm a nanny to grown-ups, I guess. I didn't realize that so much of nannying was going to be nervous system regulation, and so I guess now I provide that. But yeah, so when you're in charge all the time, you lose charge, right? You can't maintain your own charge because you just don't have anything going in. You're just constantly all the burden. Everyone's looking to you to solve the problem all the time. And it's a little bit dehumanizing because I'm not a person then. I'm just the person that everyone's looking to solve the problem. And that can happen in a marriage too, where it feels dehumanizing, where you're like, do you see me? Or am I just the person that fixes it? Um, so this is why it doesn't work. It doesn't work to be in charge, to be a grown up, to be responsible like that all the time. We need fun. We need sparkle. We need magic. We need ways that we need things that light us up and connect us to that feeling like you're flying, feeling like your toes can touch the sky, feeling like you accomplished something, right? Like Ruthie was like, oh, crocheting, watercolor. Like, yeah, when you learn a new skill, you feel like you achieved something, right? You're developing yourself, you're expanding. Ruthie says, I think my little self did not feel like the grown-ups around me. I know this is okay. I'm going to read the whole thing and then I'm going to empathize because, yeah, I feel it. I think my little self did not feel like the grown-ups around me were very responsible. I didn't feel secure. Maybe I developed this super grown-up, very serious part to counteract that. Okay, so Ruthie, you're like a genius, right? Like, you like this, you're ridiculously self-aware. Okay. Like, I hope you know that. Um, this is like Ruthie, this is next level. So yeah, so that's exactly what happened. I can tell you that that is exactly what happened. Did anyone grow up hearing that you are precocious, that you're wise for your age, that you are um that you are like wise beyond your years, uh blah blah blah. Like all of that stuff is code for I had to grow up really fast because I didn't have grown-ups around me. And you can tell, yeah, yo, you're so wise. Oh, you don't need any, it's like, no, it's because I had to become this because my parent or whoever's taking care of me is not doing it, right? Is not responsible. So like, yeah, I'm an over, it's called parentification, where the parent relies on the child for the support to support them instead of them being the parent. And what the side effect of parentification is that you get these little like wise precocious kids that are really having to become the adult to get any hope of acceptance or love, and so they start performing to get it right, as which makes perfect sense. Because the adults are not very adults, because they're not very grown up, because they're not very responsible, because they're not very um they're not they're not parenting, they're not like meeting that kid where they're at. So then the kid grows up and basically didn't get to be a kid. You had to be looking out for the parent, you had to be cleaning up the mess, and then you just never realize that you're still wearing your childhood armor. And that was really that was my is it me when I was walking my dog and I was getting divorced, and I was like, why is this feeling so familiar? Am I the drama? Um, that's what it was. Is I was like, oh my God, the armor that I had to put on as a child to survive my, you know, circumstances, I just never took it off. So I'm still wearing all the responsibility. I'm still wearing the fixer, the giver, the one that's going to make it better for everybody else. I'm still performing that role, even though I don't need to anymore. And then I'm resenting my husband for not being blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm the one that started it. I stepped into that role. I'm the one that didn't take my childhood armor off. Okay, we have a few comments here. So yes, Ruthie rocks. I could tell that just by these incredible comments she's making. This stuff is my jam. Oh, you're a coach too. Okay, so you get it. You get it. But always, yeah, we got to do our own work. Bop, bop, bop. And yeah, Ruthie says that makes me feel so sad for my little self. It is sad. It's absolutely sad. It's actually really tragic. It's a real tragedy when a child doesn't get to be a child, right? You shouldn't have to be a grown up when you're a child. It's a real loss. It's a real tragedy when kids miss that. And then what happens is they just can't ever relax because their nervous systems are like, there is no safe person to take care of me. There is no safe place. I have to be the one doing all the responsibility. I have to be in charge. And you just can't unwind that unless you have sugar. Right? And sugar will be like, oh, forget about it for a little while. So Kenethia says that's how I grew up too. Oh, hi Kenethia, you're in here. Hi. Yeah, that's how a lot of us grew up, for sure. For sure. A lot of us are the oldest daughter, the parentified child. Um, Ruthie says, I have said recently that I am finally going through my teenage rebellion at 49 years old. Yeah, because the child in you, Ruthie, that didn't get that, here's the magic. This is what I do for people. You can have it now. You can have it now. Maybe you are aging backward, Ruthie, because you are. Because you can give your teenage self what they need now. You can give your inner child the childhood they didn't have. Right? They get to experience it now. Right? I know that grown-ups don't come on YouTube live wearing, sparkle belts on their heads. I'm aware of that. Like, I understand that this is not a particularly grown-up look. Um, that's okay. This is what Wilhelm wanted to wear. So, like, she gets to have it now. She was raised in a house where she wouldn't have been allowed to wear something on her head that doesn't go on your head because it doesn't go there, and like we all had to look a certain way or whatever. So like we're doing it now, right? So they don't care if they get it now or they got it then. They just want to get it. And then Ruthie, what ends up happening is you do age backwards, right? You do end up feeling younger and having that that younger spirit as you are older. You end up having that youngness to you that people are going to think you're 10 years younger than you are, right? Just from your energy, just from your joy, just from the fun of it, right? Like we just associate fun with youth and that energy with youth because it's a youthful energy, and so that will age you backwards. And then also when you're having that much fun, you don't worry about stuff. All the things I used to worry about and plan for, and the lists and the stress and the things I would procrastinate on, and the oh my god, like what am I going to do, and what if this happens, and what if that happens. It's like when you're having fun, you're not worrying about it. That's why I love roller skating. Oh, is it really late where you are? Oh my God, thanks for coming at all. I'm so happy you joined us. Yeah, come on my next stream. It is next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can make it. It'll be every Sunday at the same bat time, same bat channel. Okay, yeah, please go rest. Don't stay up. This will be recorded. You can look at it later if you want. Okay, have a good sleep. Have a good sleep. Um, thank you. Thank you, I will. Um, yeah, so yeah, age backwards. Rhonda says I'm ready to age backwards. Do it. Do I look like I'm 41? You know? I mean, maybe I look it, but I'm not dressed like it, right? Um, so, and that's what I love about roller skating. You cannot worry about anything when you're roller skating. Mm-mm. Guess what happens? Remember when you were learning to drive a car and the instructor was like, if you look where you don't want to go, you're going to steer the car into the ditch. Oh, Ruthie says I'm gonna have to jet too, but this was fun. Yay, yeah, come back next Sunday night, Ruthie. That'd be great. Thanks for coming. Yeah, let's age backwards. So when you're driving that car and you look where you don't want to go and then you end up driving in the ditch, the same thing is true on roller skate wheels. If you are thinking about falling and worrying about falling, you're gonna fall. Like that's how that works. So you just can't worry about anything. You just have to be able to just be in the moment and be in the flow. And that's one of the reasons why I love it. Rhonda says, I'm game. You're game to age backwards. Yeah, do it. Like there's no rules. They all lied to us. They told us that there were rules, that there were things that we had to do in a certain order in order to get acceptance and love. No, you don't. You can just follow the fun. Go on a little fun scavenger hunt and go try activities that you used to like. Like maybe you still like them, maybe you don't. Go try new activities that you've wanted to try, but you think, you're too old for or whatever. Like, just go experiment and be like, was it fun or was it not? And oh my God, Kanithia, I have a purple sparkle hula hoop. I just got it. Um, yeah, okay, first of all, hula hooping is hard. Like I was not expecting it to be that difficult to keep it up. Andrea says, I definitely want to have more fun in my life. I just actually draw a blank when I ask myself what would be fun. Yeah. Okay, I have a hack for this, Andrea, if you want it. Um, so the first thing is to rule it out. So write down everything that is not fun, right? Put that on the list. And then be okay, it's none of those things. And then go to the things, um, go to the things that would make you feel calm. Because if you're drawing a blank when you ask yourself what would be fun, that tells me that you are not feeling safe. So we need to first, again, remember I said safety first. Babies have to feel safe first before they can feel anything else. Um, so what would make you feel calm? What would make you feel relaxed? What would make you feel de-stressed? What would make you feel a little more connected, right? And start with there. Once you feel those feelings, once you get more connected and calm, then the fun will show itself. But the kid in the mall who's screaming and crying, he's not going to have fun. It doesn't matter like, oh, here's cotton candy or here's a hovercraft or whatever. Like, it's not going to matter how cool the thing is or how fun the activity is. He's too dysregulated to experience fun, right? So that's the same for us. Does that help, Andrea? Um, that's not a personality defect or anything. There's nothing wrong with you. Like you're just overwhelmed. Your nervous system is just struggling with regulation. So yeah, Kanithia, if you can hula hoop, like my hat's off to you. I have gotten up to like 30 seconds or something. But it is shockingly difficult. But yeah, hula hooping, I mean, it's free, it's in your house, you don't need that much room. Like like there, it has no purpose whatsoever. That's how you know when things are fun. There's no point to them at all, right? It's just fun. There's no thing you could monetize. There's no goal that you could achieve. It's just yeah, it's just fun. Kinethia says I might need a bigger hoop. Oh really? Is that maybe why it's hard, Kinethia? Because I think I have a grown up. I mean, I assume they only come in one size. It's not a kid's one. It's like a regular size regulation hula hoop, I think. Little Home picked it out in Staples and I couldn't say no to her. Rhonda says several of my tribe are here. Oh yeah, really? Hi everyone. As a result of our earlier Zoom, we'll have a lot to discuss later. I enjoyed connecting with you this evening. That's awesome. Thank you, Rhonda. I'm so glad you came. I hope this was helpful. I hope this adds a little sparkle, little shift towards fun for you and aging backwards. And thank you for coming. And thank you for coming on the Zoom as well. I hope that was helpful. And yeah, if you have to go, Rhonda, then no worries. You can come back next week. Kinethia says the bigger the hula hoop is, the easier it is. Okay. And there are different sizes. Okay, well maybe I need to look into that. I did not know that. I just got the one that was on the one that was in front of me, basically in the store. Kim says super hard. I've never been able to hula hoop. It's just surprisingly difficult. Yeah. So Andrea says safety first. Got it. What would make me feel calm, de-stressed, more connected? Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. That is the place to go first, because we can't have fun when we're panicky, nervous, scared. Like nothing's fun then, right? And for me, that's why I was like, I want to be in the couch bed with sushi and a bottle of wine, because all of a sudden I'm not feeling nervous, anxious, scared. It just took it all away, like magic, except that I'm dependent on these things. So yeah, that's the that's where I would direct you, Andrea, if that's where you're bumping into it. Kinethia says a starter hoop will come up to your whoa. Okay. I don't think my hoop is big enough then. That is awesome. Oh my God. See, this is the girls' bathroom. This is why we need a place where we can just be in the girls' bathroom together and be like, what are you doing? How did you figure that out? Okay. Like, okay. Cause we're all in our own worlds trying to figure stuff out, and it takes forever. So like, I didn't know coming on here, I was going to find some hula hooper who was going to give me pointers. Like, I didn't even know I needed to Google that. I thought there was something wrong with me that I couldn't, right? Like, we need the girls' bathroom. Kim says, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. so, so yeah, that's kind of that's the magic that I was talking about earlier that happens when you open yourself up. First, we have to feel safe, right? And calm and regulated and supported. And once we feel that, then we can start having fun. And the fun just brings it brings people in. It just creates community. Like people just they see fun and they're like, wait, what is she doing over there? Oh, did you know that we're allowed to do that? Right. And it just creates more joy. It creates more connection. Again, it's back to a virtuous cycle as opposed to a vicious cycle. So me needing alcohol and sugar and takeout in order to feel safe is a vicious cycle, because then it comes with all these side effects, and then to mitigate the side effects I feel more unsafe, and then I need more of the coping mechanism, and then I have more side effects, right? But now the fun is a virtuous cycle that leads me from, ooh, what if I felt like flying, to, ooh, I'm going to learn roller skating. And then other people were like, oh, if she's learning roller skating, then I can learn roller skating. And then more people start showing up, and then that makes me want to go more because now there's people there that are going to be like, where's Helmy? She didn't go to roller skating. And then that makes me want to get better because I want to skate with, right, and it just goes around and around and around. So we need to look for ways we can create virtuous cycles in our lives. They're not going to just happen. You have to start creating them. It's all too easy to create the vicious cycle, right? So okay, I'm so happy we had our girls' bathroom meeting today, ladies. I hope that you guys felt, I hope you felt safe, and I hope you felt seen and supported. And I hope you may go into your week thinking, what things do you own that are belts that are actually hidden tiaras that you didn't know you had? Right? Like, where can you look in your life and be like, oh, I thought it was this, but actually it could be something else. We could build something else. We could do something new. And then come back next week and tell us all about it. You know, how did you calm down? How did you ground? How did you connect? How did you create safety? And and how did you find some fun? Kim says this was awesome. Yeah, it's literally, thanks, Helmy. Going to look at my belts now. Do it. You don't know. There could be a treasure in there. You don't know. This was in my closet for years. I had no idea. I've never put it on my head before. I kind of like the look of it, actually. Little Helm has good taste. Kenethia says, I have friends that hoop while roller skating. I mean, I'm so jealous. I want to be in that friend group so bad. I want to teach me your ways, girls. That's amazing. Okay, so we will be back here Sunday nights, 7 p.m. If you need help, bring your questions. Or just report back. Be like, hey, this is this is the thing I found this week. That was fun. And let's have a secret girls' bathroom meeting again. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I super appreciate you. I hope this helps, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Yay! Thanks for the hearts. Okay, bye.